Daily Broadside, day 934.5, day 935. That's what I said. Red Rose, white ceiling. I hope y'all saw the Democratic debate last night. I think it was last night, maybe the night before, between, I can't say his name, Sliwa, that guardian angel guy's been around since like the 70s. And then Cuomo and Slamadama Ding Dong. I don't remember what his name is. Slobodan Milosevic. It's not Slobodan Milosevic. Boy, there's a Reagan era term for it. Anyway, but it was funny. There was one time where they're asking Cuomo, can you tell us, in your opinion, and they give it this long thing, and then when he goes to speak, he says, Sliwa starts talking. He's like, I tell you what I would do. And he's like, the question was for Cuomo. I mean, there's three idiots up there, but that's just what we have with mayoral debates. Hang a left. So get this, right? I went to, my young son and I went to the, one of our favorite hibachi places last night. And, I kept hearing babies being born, you know when you're in a hospital and you hear that ding ding, that little dinging noise, that sound that they play when a baby's born. They've got that hooked up to the front door of the restaurant, and I've never noticed that before, and I've been there before. That's how I know it's my favorite sushi or hibachi place, right? Anyway, so I mean, while I sat there and ate for 48 minutes, probably there had to be 112 babies born, and every time it became a joke where it was like, was a baby just born, And then I'll tell you another thing about this is I like the place and all that, although it needs a new coat of paint and like some more lighting. It's dark. I feel like I'm part of like an Italian mafia, and I'm making a deal in the back room of a dimly lit, Italian joint in Soho or something. But just bury him with the fishes. You're in that. You're like, can we cut a light up? I mean, I know these things are on a dimmer. Hang the next right. And so, but here's what I don't like, right? It's one of these places where you walk in, and the first time you walk in, you don't realize there ain't no lobby. This ain't no Olive Garden. You can't just walk in. Oh, Olive Garden. You can't just walk in and, grab a seat with, 17 other people. Or what's the place with the nuts on the floor? The Texas Roadhouse. Is it Texas Roadhouse that has? Or Sagebrush? One of them stupid steakhouses where you just for whatever reason, you just throw your trash on the floor. That's a great business model. Hey, let's clean up 17,000 pounds of peanut husks and shells before we go home tonight, boys. And meanwhile, the CEO's just at home sleeping in his, 8,400 square foot home with heated floors in the bathroom. And he's like, sleep like a baby because I sell seared meat and baked potatoes at an above average cost. Meanwhile, somebody's, mopping up peanut husks and shells for $11.50 an hour. What was I talking about? Why did we get here? Oh, so it's not like we walk in there and there's these long, ass troughs for you to sit on. These booths. When you get the little buzzer and it comes. This place, you walk in and bam, you're at the first booth. You walk in and whoa. You're not expecting it the first time you walk in because there's nowhere to stand. And this place does more to-go business than it does to sit-down business. So there's constantly people, you're jockeying, it's you and the cash register lady and room for one more person in between you. So the first time you walk in, you're like, oh yeah, I've heard good things about this place. Click, cling, cling, cling. You're like, whoa, ho, ho, I'm sitting on somebody's lap, There's nowhere to stand. You want to be just hang out in the kitchen. There's more room. We'll call you when there's a table kind of thing. And then, every 5 seconds there's somebody coming in, cling, cling, cling. They walk in and bang, bang, a baby's born. And they're like, I got a to-go order for Reginald Van Johnson. I think that's the name of the guy from Die Hard. And Reginald Van Johnson. Hang on right. And all that. But anyway, yeah, so a lot of babies were born and a lot of people didn't have anywhere to stand, So anyway, I'm headed off to see, we're going to go see, hang on right. Derecho, no izquierda. We got to go, we're going to go see the Roof Man, which oddly enough, my son's nickname since he was about 9 is the Roof Man. So I'm going to see the Roof Man with the Roof Man. Hang on left. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Get him.